majority of Canadians on the side of choice. And I think that what we have to be very careful of here is not to fall into the trap that folks who are anti-abortion would like us to fall into, which is that somehow this can become about another question, gender side. Because let's just simply state that the science does not met out what they are suggesting. The law that are currently in place prevent abortions happening from that particular standpoint of it being a choice between a boy or a girl. So let me be very, very clear. There are laws on the books to prevent this already. That's the first thing. Second,
but the medical association says it's happening, and that's the difficulty.
But the problem is that that's not entirely accurate. Some people within the medical association have surmised that it might be happening, but there is no evidence to suggest, nor is there any proof that the anti-abortion movement can suggest that it is actually happening. So in other words, we are creating laws based on strange speculations, and really it's to kick open the door, as Lisa suggested, to a much more complex and complicated debate on this particular front. But lest we forget that these are the very same people who not 20 years ago told us that sexual intercourse and masturbation were a sin. These are the very same people who taught us to be prudish about our bodies, taught us that prostitution is illegal and a whole host of other such things. And guess what, folks? There are a lot of other views and opinions in the world on those particular matters. And at this particular point in Canadian history, we have moved past the point of this particular debate. It's very, very clear.
Can I just comment on that, though? So the argument is that the issue is settled. The issue is not settled.
No, it's not.
When you go out on the Hill, as I did today, you know, I think most of the MPs there are looking at a post-Harper world. This is they're using the lessons they learned from getting elected, the very incremental gains here, there, and everywhere, small steps on a broad spectrum of abortion-related issues, from the gender side to Rod Bernouge had a private member's bill about if a woman is coerced into having an abortion, making that illegal. They're being very creative about how they get there, and they're like Stock said, there are a lot of young people there.
All the young people there were trucked out from Catholic schools, and that's disgusting. And we know that that's the case. There were 20,000 young people out there for Fill the Hill. No, it is. It's disgusting. To take kids from publicly funded Ontario Catholic schools out there protesting is disgusting.
Well, we don't. I walked out. Okay, I got 30 seconds.
I just want to finish my thought before I was so rudely interrupted.
Okay.
That never happens on the panel, John.
I think the debate is shifting, not necessarily in the favour of those people who are anti-abortion. There is movement away from a more nuanced position.
Well, okay. I got 10 seconds each, a real 10 seconds. Stock, Lisa. Stock.